Okay, great stuff. So let's carry on with we'll do question 118 and 120, and then so we're doing 118 to 120. Well, there's only two of them. Okay, so what do we have here? It tells us that these people, what is the budgeted profit? So we're selling each of these items at 200. Again, as I'm sure you've read the question. Our issue really is to find cost of sales. So it says the sales are expected to be 4,000 units. So the cost of sales. This is technically the cost of sales, right? It's 4,000 units. It's the cost of. I'm trying to fundamentally find the difference between the sale of 4,000 units and the cost of 4,000 units. That's the issue here. Okay, great. So what do we have? So I have a situation where I don't just get rid of this. So really, I don't have the argument here is it says inventory at the start of the year is nil. I'm going to produce a certain number and I want to have 500 at the end of the month, because for opening inventory for the next month to be 500, that means that the closing inventory in my month, in the month of January, must have been 500. So I must have made 4,500. So I made 4,500. Okay, no problem. So where are we? So inventory, yes. So materials are not held in store, but a purchase is required. Each unit of X requires 3 kilograms. So we bought in 3 kilograms and we spent 15 pounds. Right. So let's let's get that right first. So let's just get the production cost first. Let's get the full production cost before we talk about closing inventory. And then it says that each unit requires 5 hours of labor. So this is direct materials that we're talking about. So let's talk about direct labor. So each unit, what's the sales are expected to be? Materials are each unit. We have 500. So we needed to make each unit. We required 3 kilograms. Yes, so we made 4,500 units. So there we are. So where each unit requires 5 hours of labor. So 4,500 times 5 times 20 pounds an hour, right? Because we made 4,500 units. Each unit requires 5 hours, and it's 20 pounds an hour. Okay, great. So let's look at this. So let's calculate this. So 4,500 times 3 times 15 is 202,500, and then 4,500 times 5 times 20 is 450,000. Great. So I now have my what's the word? Yes, I have my total cost, which is therefore 202,500 plus 450. Let me just do that. Plus 202,500, and I have 652,500, and that's for 4,500 units. Okay. So here we are. So let me just be careful. So this is just for the month, right? So the overheads for the month are 150,000. So therefore, in terms of the budgeted profit or sale for that period, all I'm going to do is I'm going to find. We didn't sell all of this. We had closing inventory of 500, so I just need to sort of take away 500 from this, right? Because 500 of this wasn't sold. So 500 of this, if you like, so basically 500 of this stock times 652,500 is 72,500. Yes, all I did is I've taken this as a percentage, as a fraction. I've basically said I could find the cost of each unit. I could say 652,500 divided by 4,500 and then multiply that by 500. That's how I get the 72,500. So I can show you, I can find the cost of sale. So the cost of sale, therefore, is 652,500 minus So that's minus this. So my cost of sale, this minus this, just do that up here, is 580,000. I'm selling each of these items for £200. So that's 200 times 4,000, which is 800,000. So therefore, I have a profit, first of all, 800 minus 580, 800 minus 580, I have a profit of 220, and then I take off the 150,000 because this is an overhead for the month, and that gives me £70,000 in profit. So question 118 is A. Right, so just taking it step by step, I'm just trying to find, I know what my selling is, 4,000. So that's 4,000 times 80. So 4,000 times 4,000 units times 200, which is 800,000. The problem what I need to find is my cost of sale. And so what is that? I must have made 4,500 units and had 500 in closing inventory. Question is, how do I value that? That's the 4,500 units, 3 kilograms, £15. Thank you very much. Labor, 4,500 times 5 times 20. Add those two together. Those are my direct costs. And then what do I do? Yes, and then you saw me. I now have, this is the full cost of 4,500 items. I need to take out the 500 that haven't sold yet. And just so I can compare the sales of 4,000 items with the cost of 4,000 items, and then I get my actual gross profit, which was the 220,000, and then take off the overhead of 150,000 a month, and you get 70,000. Okay, great. So that's that. That's question 118. Yes, this is an interesting one. So we played around with a lot of this. So think about it being that we're in the warehouse, right? So we're actually in the warehouse, and we need to buy the raw materials that we're going to use to make the units. We're just buying the raw materials. We have some raw materials, so raw materials are part of our sort of situation. We deal with raw materials as well. So we buy in the raw materials and then make the products. So we don't just buy in finished units, right? This is the key issue with this question. We're not talking about buying in finished units. We're talking about buying the raw materials to make the units. It tells us each unit requires 7 kilograms. So here's the thing. It says the last month, for the last accounting period, you bought in £400,000 worth of product. That's what you bought in. And this was based on a price of £5 per kilogram. So therefore, if you, on a basis of £5 per kilogram, if you spend 400,000, well, that means that you bought in 400,000 divided by 5, which is 80. So you bought in 80,000 kilograms worth of product. That's what happened. So you have an opening inventory. It tells us that you had opening inventory of 2,000 kilograms. So just you're the warehouse. You're the guys in the warehouse. You're the ones who issue out the kilograms to the people who actually make the product. You went along and you bought in another 80,000. So you must have released a certain amount. The question is, what did you release such that you only had 5,000 left? So you had 2,000, you bought in another 80, so that's 82. You released a certain amount to only have 5,000 left. You must have released 77,000 kilograms because you have 5,000 left. Or you could look at it the other way. The classic way of doing this is 2,000 plus 80,000 minus the 5,000, which is the closing inventory. Opening inventory plus purchases minus closing inventory gives you, if you like, a cost of sale thinking, so to speak. 77,000 kilograms is what you released to the guys in the factory. They got their 77,000 kilograms, and it says that they use 7 kilograms to make 1 unit. So they must have made 77,000 divided by 7. They must have made 11,000 units. That was the plan. You know, they must have made 11,000 units, which brings you nicely to 11,000. That's how it works. Cool. Great. And that's kind of, so this, go back again and look at this sort of, is this whole idea of being comfortable with opening inventory plus purchases minus closing inventory to give you cost of sales. This is the key thing here. But this time we're just making units, right? We're making units. So it's about knowing how to This is we're in production. We're in production now. We're not in finished units. But the principle is the same. The principle is the same. I'm always trying to put myself in the warehouse itself and realize that, okay, we're bringing in kilograms to make the units, but how many kilograms did I release to the guys in production? And that's what we're pretty much working out here. Okay, great stuff, and I'll see you in the next set of videos.